They said no one was buried beneath Cellar 13, and yet something there still breathes. In the autumn of 1861, I, Dr. Elias Branton, a professor of antiquarian history, was summoned to the coastal remnants of Grayer Abbey, a long-abandoned monastery that had slumped into obscurity and rot just beyond the cliffs of Northwick Hollow. I came not for ghost stories nor for myths, but for its subterranean record vaults, rumored to preserve monastic writings untouched for centuries. The villagers had ceased speaking of Grayer, not from reverence but avoidance. Every conversation that dared brush its name slid quickly into a muttered detour or a throat-clearing silence. It intrigued me. My host was an old surveyor, Mr. Callum Hodge, who offered me the key to the abbey with a warning that felt more ritual than kindness. Don't open Cellar 13. Let the walls breathe easy. I thought it merely poetic nonsense. The structure was an emaciated skeleton of Gothic spires and broken stained glass. The chapel's roof had long since collapsed, and vines had crawled through every crevice like veins reclaiming a corpse. But it was beneath, through a spiral stair of crumbling flagstone, that I found the true heart of the place, a labyrinth of cellars, each sealed by rusted iron doors. Each bore a Roman numeral, and I cataloged them meticulously. One by one, I opened them. Each room was identical. Damp air, iron racks, dust-covered ledgers, centuries of forgotten entries, documenting old monastic trades, strange procurements of animal bones, and a curious series of treatments for possessive afflictions. But Cellar 13 remained shut. On my fourth day, I heard the sound, a long, deliberate scrape like a claw over iron. I dismissed it. The old foundations shifted. Stone settles, rodents. But when I descended again the next morning, I saw the door to Cellar 13 had shifted only slightly but unmistakably inward, and across its surface were scratches, not random but carefully arranged, like someone or something inside had traced a message I could not understand. 3 vertical lines, 1 diagonal slash repeated. It felt primitive, desperate, familiar somehow. I touched the iron. It was warm. I pried the hinges loose by dusk. The air that spilled forth was not cold, it should have been, but hot, like breath from a cave mouth. The chamber was lightless and my lantern struggled, flickering as if resisting illumination. Inside, no records, no shelves. Only a stone room, circular, walls blackened as if burned. And in the very center, a chair. It faced the wall, chained to the floor. As I approached, my footfalls echoed too loudly as if I were not alone. The lantern dimmed again, and I saw faintly not a figure in the chair, but a shape in the corner just beyond its reach of chains, small, shifting. When the lantern died, I ran. I nearly left that night, but pride, foolish, damnable pride, drove me to stay. I wanted to understand what I had found, and worse, I wanted to write about it. Among the older cellars, I found a fragment of parchment, tucked beneath a collapsed rack. It was scorched at the edges, the ink smeared as if in haste. The script was Latin, frantic and wild. I translated what I could. It listens with borrowed ears. It speaks in your voice when you sleep. It cannot lie, but it can forget. Do not speak to it. It is the 13th. That night in my chamber above the abbey, I awoke to the sound of whispering. Not from below, from inside the room. And the voice, God help me, was my own. It muttered feverishly, reciting lines from my own journal I had not spoken aloud. Then silence. When I lit the candle, there was no one. But on my bedside wall, the scratches had returned. 3 vertical, 1 diagonal. It was not speaking. It was counting. I returned with rope, with chalk, with relics from my university's exorcism archive. I would banish the thing, identify it, classify it. But Cellar 13 was gone. Where there had been a door, there was now only stone, seamless, ancient, undisturbed. But I had the key still. And when I held it near the wall, the metal began to melt, running down my palm like wax, leaving behind a brand. Those same 4 lines burned into my flesh. On the final night, something knocked on my chamber door. 3 times, slowly. I spoke nothing. It did not enter. But from beneath the door came a slip of parchment, stained and torn. It read in my handwriting, "You are already in the chair." My vision blurred. The room twisted. My journal, my notes, they were being copied. Not by me, not for me, but for it. It was learning to be me. They found me weeks later, rambling, wandering the cliffs near Northwick Hollow. No one believed my account. They never found Cellar 13, nor the burned room, nor the brand on my palm, which had faded by then into nothing. But I know what I saw, what I released. And sometimes when I'm alone too long, when silence grows too thick, I hear my voice again. Not inside me, but next to me, saying things I've not yet thought. I don't think it's trying to possess me. I think it already did. Now I live alone, far from scholars, lectures, and stone vaults. My home is lined with mirrors, each one covered in black cloth, for I have seen too much of what lies behind glass. I sleep little and dream less.
When I do, the dreams are never mine.
I walk corridors I've never seen, speak languages I've never studied. I wake with blood beneath my nails, sometimes my own, sometimes not. There are moments I lose entire hours. I'll find my pen uncapped, pages filled in my journal in that same tight, angular script, the one that used to be mine, but no longer feels like it belongs to me. The thoughts are clever, but not quite right. Off by a degree, as if written by something wearing me like a mask. And sometimes I see it, not with my eyes, with my memory. A shape, watching from corners, always just outside the edge of understanding. It no longer speaks. It doesn't need to. It waits. You may believe none of this. That's fine. That's safer. But if you ever feel your voice echo without speaking, or dream of dark chambers you've never entered, or find scratches where no hand should reach, be warned. It has found the door again. Not in wither clay. In you. If you ever find a locked cellar numbered 13, don't open it. It doesn't want you. It wants to be you. And once it learns enough, it never needs the chains again.